If you wake up one morning, touch your body and feel that private area cold, heavy, almost lifeless, stop right there. That chilling sensation is not just age catching up with you. It could be the first silent warning that blood is no longer flowing where a man needs it most. Imagine this, the very breakfast you trust every day, that slice of toast, that bowl of cereal, it might be the real reason your strength, your warmth, your vitality are slowly slipping away. I'm Dr. Thomas Ray. For over 3 decades, I've stood with thousands of men over 65, helping them restore energy, circulation, and confidence, starting right from their kitchen table. Before we go further, tell me, where are you watching this from? Share your city or country in the comments. I'd love to see the journey we're walking together from every corner of the world. And if you believe your health still matters after 65, click subscribe now and ring the bell. That way you'll never miss advice made especially for men like you. Now let's uncover the very first food that could quietly be draining your circulation each morning. For years, my mornings looked just like millions of other men my age. A hot cup of coffee, a slice of toast, sometimes a bowl of cereal, quick, familiar, comforting. I never questioned it, but over time something began to change. My legs felt heavy. My energy was drained before the day even started. And the worst part, that cold and numb feeling down there. At first I told myself, this is just aging, but deep down I knew something was wrong. Here's the truth. After a long night without food, your body is in a fragile state. What you eat in that very first hour decides the flow of your blood, your hormones, even your confidence as a man. The problem, most common breakfast foods do the exact opposite of what your body needs. White toast, sugary cereal, store-bought muffins. They spike your blood sugar like a roller coaster. And every spike is followed by inflammation. Blood vessels tighten. Nitric oxide, the molecule that opens those vessels, drops. And when that happens, blood struggles to reach the pelvis. The result, coldness, numbness, loss of drive. Not because you're weak, but because circulation is being quietly blocked. Think about it. If pipes in your house are clogged, water can't flow. Your body's no different. And here's the warning. If you ignore this day after day, those vessels harden. Once hardened, it's no longer about feeling tired. It becomes about long-term damage to the very areas that define a man's vitality. But there's good news. When you remove the wrong foods and add the right ones, healing begins almost immediately. I remember a man named Robert. He was 67, convinced his problem was low testosterone. His tests were normal. What we discovered was poor circulation from years of sugary breakfasts. We adjusted his morning meals. 3 weeks later, Robert walked into my office with a spark in his eyes. He said, "Doc, I feel like myself again." That's the power of changing just one habit. Let me ask you, have you ever blamed age for feeling weaker, colder, less alive? If yes, type the word wrong in the comments. Because most of the time, age is not the real enemy. It's poor blood flow, and blood flow is something you can fix. Science confirms it. After 60, nitric oxide levels naturally fall. Without it, arteries can't relax. Blood can't travel smoothly to the pelvis, and your body begins to send you silent warnings. That morning heaviness, that fading spark, that sense of being disconnected from yourself. It's not just aging, it's your arteries asking for help. And the help comes from food. Simple, natural, powerful food that restores nitric oxide and circulation. So what's the first food that can bring warmth and vitality back to your mornings? A humble green vegetable with more healing power than most prescriptions. Spinach. When used the right way at the right time, spinach can transform the way blood flows through your body. It's not magic. It's science turned into something you can eat at breakfast tomorrow. Up next, I'll show you why spinach holds this power and how just one handful can change how you feel all day. I'll never forget the first time I saw spinach work in real life. Not in a lab, not in a study, but with a patient sitting across from me. His name was James. He was 68, polite, soft-spoken, but his eyes told a story of loss. "Doc," he said, "every morning I wake up and it feels like nothing is happening down there. Like I'm disconnected from my own body." He wasn't in pain, but he had lost something essential. That spark of confidence, that sense of being fully alive. When I asked about his breakfast, it was the same story I had heard hundreds of times. Toast, jam, coffee with sugar, simple, familiar, comfortable, but quietly damaging his blood flow. So I gave him a challenge. James, I want you to eat spinach, not as a side, not as decoration on your plate, but as the main ingredient for healing. One handful each morning, blended in a smoothie, or sautéed lightly with olive oil. Spinach is rich in dietary nitrates. When you eat it, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is the key that unlocks your blood vessels. It tells them to relax, to widen, to send circulation to the right places. James agreed to try it. 2 weeks later, he returned. This time he smiled. "It's not magic, Doc," he said, "but something feels alive again." That's the power of spinach. It's not expensive, it's not complicated, and it works with your body, not against it. Here's something to think about. Spinach isn't just a salad ingredient. For men over 65, it's medicine, a natural way to restore what age and poor habits quietly steal away. But there's a warning. If you only eat spinach once in a while, you won't see the real effect. Your body needs consistency, a daily rhythm that reminds your arteries how to open, how to carry blood where it belongs. And timing matters. Eat it in the morning and you unlock circulation for the whole day. Eat it at night and the effect is much weaker. Think about that for a moment. One small choice in the morning can decide how alive you feel until bedtime. Have you been ignoring spinach all these years? If yes, type the word spinach in the comments. It's time to give this leafy green the respect it deserves. And here's the good news. Spinach doesn't have to be boring. Smoothies, omelets, even sautéed with eggs. It fits easily into almost any breakfast. Science shows that within hours, spinach raises nitric oxide. By mid-morning, blood vessels are opening, circulation improves, and the pelvic region receives the oxygen-rich blood it has been missing. I remember another patient, David, age 70. He had tried spinach at dinner. It helped a little. But when he switched to breakfast, the change was dramatic. "Doc," he said, "it feels like a switch flipped. I wake up lighter. I actually want to move." That's the hidden gift of spinach. When circulation improves in the morning, the benefit carries into the entire day. You stop playing catch-up. You start leading from the first step. Up next, we'll discover how one surprising food, Greek yogurt, can work hand in hand with spinach to double its effect and bring even greater results. When most men think about circulation, they picture the heart, or maybe blood pressure. But here's something surprising. Good circulation actually begins in the gut. Your gut is like the command center. When it's inflamed or unbalanced, it sends distress signals. Those signals tighten blood vessels. They slow down circulation, and the first place to feel the effect, the pelvic region. That's why so many men over 65 feel sluggish. Not because the heart is weak, but because the gut is quietly crying out for help. So if spinach is the spark, what keeps that spark burning brighter? The answer is Greek yogurt. Now don't think of it as just a breakfast item. Greek yogurt is alive. It's full of probiotics that bring balance back to your gut. And when your gut is calm, blood flows freely. One of my patients, John, age 66, came to me with a complaint. "Doc, my legs feel heavy by noon. I can't keep up with my grandkids." He wasn't sick. He wasn't weak. But his gut was inflamed, sending those silent signals to tighten vessels. I told him to replace his morning toast with a bowl of Greek yogurt. Within 2 weeks, the heaviness lifted. He said, "I can move again. I don't have to sit down every 10 minutes." That's how powerful the gut-blood connection truly is. But here's the bonus. Greek yogurt works even better with berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. These vibrant fruits are packed with anthocyanins. They act like bodyguards for nitric oxide. Why is that important? Because nitric oxide is fragile. It breaks down quickly in the body, and once it's gone, blood flow weakens again. But anthocyanins shield it. They keep your vessels flexible. They protect oxygen delivery to sensitive areas. Let me paint a picture. Imagine nitric oxide as a fresh candle flame. Without protection, the wind blows it out. But berries create a glass shield. the flame stays alive. Here's a question for you. Do you enjoy fruit in the morning? If yes, type the word berries in the comments. Because every bite is not just sweetness, it's protection, it's circulation support, it's energy that lasts beyond breakfast. And remember this warning, not all yogurts are equal. The flavored ones loaded with sugar will undo all the benefits. Always choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Then add fresh berries for natural sweetness. This combination does three things at once. It balances your gut, it strengthens nitric oxide, and it keeps your vessels open and flexible. I've seen men in their 70s transform their mornings with just this change. They walk easier, they breathe easier, and yes, they feel warmer, more alive down there. So when you think about breakfast, ask yourself, are you feeding inflammation or are you feeding circulation? Because the choice you make in that first hour writes the story of your entire day. Up next, I'll show you two foods most people never imagine eating for breakfast: avocado and dark chocolate. Yet together they hold the power to soften arteries, fuel nitric oxide, and restore performance in ways that surprise even the most skeptical men. When I tell men to eat avocado and dark chocolate in the morning, they usually laugh. Doc, are you serious? Guacamole and chocolate for breakfast? Yes, I am. Because once you try it, the laughter disappears. It's replaced by surprise, and most importantly, by results. Let's start with avocado. This smooth green fruit is packed with monounsaturated fats, the kind of fat that heals, not harms. It also delivers potassium, a mineral essential for flexible arteries. Here's the problem. As we age, arteries stiffen, especially in the lower body. When they stiffen, blood flow struggles to reach the pelvis. That's why circulation feels weaker after 65, but avocado helps reverse that. One of my patients, Mark, age 70, was convinced avocado was just expensive hype. He avoided it for years, but after adding half an avocado to breakfast every day, his tune changed. Doc, he said, I don't know what's in that green stuff, but I'm walking easier. I'm waking up firmer. That's no hype, that's biology at work. Now let's talk about dark chocolate. And no, I'm not talking about candy bars filled with sugar. I mean real dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher. Just 2 small squares in the morning are enough. They're rich in flavanols, natural plant compounds. Flavanols boost nitric oxide. They help vessels relax. They sustain the benefits of spinach, yogurt, and berries. Think of flavanols as reinforcements. They step in to keep your circulation strong throughout the day. I remember a man named William. Every morning he told me his blood felt stuck in first gear. No energy, no drive. I told him to pair 2 small squares of dark chocolate with his morning coffee. 1 week later, he came back with a smile. Doc, I don't feel stuck anymore. Things are moving again. That's the power of dark chocolate. Simple, natural, effective. Here's the warning. If you reach for milk chocolate or sugary brands, you lose all the benefits. Sugar inflames your vessels. Milk proteins block the absorption of flavanols. Always choose the darkest, purest option. Let me ask you a question. Have you tried avocado or dark chocolate in the morning? If yes, type the word avocado in the comments. Because these two foods aren't indulgences. They're tools, they soften arteries, they fuel nitric oxide, they restore circulation where you need it most. And the best part, they make breakfast satisfying. Creamy avocado, rich dark chocolate. Healing doesn't have to taste boring. Imagine starting your day with spinach, yogurt, berries, avocado, and dark chocolate. You're not just eating breakfast, you're rebuilding circulation step by step. But we're not done yet. There is one final ingredient, a royal red fruit praised for centuries as a symbol of vitality, and modern science now proves it may be the most powerful of them all. Up next, I'll show you why pomegranate can tie everything together, restoring strength and warmth, even in places you thought were gone forever. For centuries, pomegranate has been a symbol of strength, life, and vitality. Ancient kings praised its ruby red seeds. They believed it restored manhood and energy. And today, science proves they were right. Pomegranate is one of the most powerful natural foods for boosting circulation, especially for men over 65. I think of a patient named Edward. He was 69, a retired teacher. His mornings felt dull, his hands and feet were always cold, and intimacy had faded into memory. He wasn't asking for miracles. He just wanted to feel present in his own body again. I told him to drink 4 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice each morning. Nothing fancy, no pills, no complicated routines. 3 weeks later, he returned. His eyes were brighter, his hands were warm. With a quiet smile, he said, "Doc, I feel alive again, even in places I thought were shut down for good." That's the power of pomegranate. Why does it work so well? Because it's packed with polyphenols, L-glutanins, and anthocyanins. Together, these nutrients increase nitric oxide. They protect it from breaking down, and they train your blood vessels to stay relaxed and open. Here's something remarkable. Studies show pomegranate can begin widening arteries within just 30 minutes. And when you drink it regularly, the effect builds. Your vessels learn to stay open. Your circulation improves day by day. But here's the warning. Not all pomegranate juice is equal. The bottled versions loaded with sugar cancel the benefits. Always choose pure, unsweetened juice. Let me ask you, have you ever tried pomegranate juice in the morning? If yes, type the word red in the comments. Because when you add this fruit to your breakfast, you're not just drinking juice. You're reviving circulation. You're restoring warmth. You're reclaiming confidence. I've watched men in their late 70s discover new life with this habit. It doesn't make you young again, but it makes you feel alive in the body you have. And when you combine pomegranate with spinach, yogurt, berries, avocado, and dark chocolate, something special happens. You create momentum, a rhythm of healing that begins with the very first bite each morning. Imagine it, your arteries opening, blood flowing freely, energy returning, confidence restored. This isn't theory, it's real, and it's waiting for you each morning in your own kitchen. But what happens when you put all 5 of these foods together into one daily habit? That's what we'll uncover next, and it may completely change the way you see aging forever. I have sat across from thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. They walk in quietly, shoulders heavy, not from pain, but from the feeling their body is slowly slipping away. They say, "I don't feel like myself anymore." And worse, they tell me, "That's just aging." But I want you to hear this clearly. No, you are not done. You are not finished. This is not the end of your vitality. You don't need prescriptions. You don't need surgery. What you need is 5 simple foods: spinach to awaken nitric oxide, Greek yogurt and berries to protect your vessels, avocado to soften your arteries, dark chocolate to sustain your energy, and pomegranate juice to tie it all together. These foods aren't exotic. They aren't rare. They are in your grocery store right now, and tomorrow morning you can begin. Pick one, just one. Start small, because the moment you take that first bite, your body remembers. It remembers how to heal, how to move, how to feel strong again. If this message spoke to you, click subscribe now and turn on notifications. That way you'll never miss advice made especially for men over 65. And share this video with a friend, a brother, or someone you love, because no man should have to face this journey alone. One morning, one choice, one step at a time. That's how you reclaim your life.